Hi there, people. I am back once again in this chair in this boring room with these fat looking headphones on for another YouTube video because I got nothing else to do with my life. So this one is, unsurprisingly, another sort of review, I guess you could say, um, over a recent movie that came out. Not too recent, but this year came out. And it is, unsurprisingly, the Super Mario Brothers movie. You can't see the title. There we go. Super Mario Brothers movie. Yep, I own a DVD copy. And so I figured I'd offer my thoughts. Now then, with this movie still being, I guess, fairly new. Yeah, fairly new. There is going to be a spoiler warning for those who haven't seen the movie. So if you haven't seen it, don't watch this. Go watch the movie. I promise you it's good. I can say that much about it. I promise you it's good. But just letting you know now, there's gonna be some spoilers. I'm gonna be talking about some things that happen in the movie that you probably don't know about and whatnot. So yeah. Anyway, with that whole disclaimer out of the way, let's get right into it. So this movie, uh, I don't know if I should start with my overall opinions or kind of work up to that. Yeah, I'll start with overall opinions. This movie was awesome. Like, oh my god. I saw the trailers for it and I was like, this is gonna be good. And I went to go watch it in theaters. And yeah, I was not disappointed. This movie absolutely rocked. I loved it from the beginning. And I loved it from to the end. Like this movie was awesome. It's one of the prettiest illumination movies I've ever seen. And it's one of the best video game adaptations I've seen, aside from the Sonic the Hedgehog movies. But this movie was amazing, and I can't really say much. That's it. The review's done with. I'm gonna hit the pause. I'm gonna hit the stop button now. I was kidding. I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, this movie was amazing. Like, it is just, in a way, it kind of upsets me because for those of you who don't know, this isn't the first Super Mario Brothers movie to be released to the public. There was one way back, um, in the '90s, I believe. At least I think that was. Some of you probably know what I'm talking about. The live action one with Bob Hoskins as Mario and all that stuff. And that one, well, the only thing Mario about that movie was the fact that it had the Super Mario Brothers title, but that one, not so good. And this one here was exactly what it should have been. And the reason why it upsets me is because I don't know why it took this long to actually do this right. Sonic got it right on the first try, two times. They got it right with Sonic the first time, and this one took him this long to do. Like, what? What? Why? Why so long to get it right? But anyway, that's just me being nitpicky. But anyway, like, this is amazing. And I guess to start off, the casting was really really good. I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there who talk about Chris Pratt as Mario and all that stuff, and I understand it's like a divided topic, and I'm probably gonna get some flack for this, but I like him as Mario. I think he did a really, really good job as Mario, and the reason I say this is because understand people. Yes, this is a movie based off a video game, but again, it's a movie based off a video game. With that being said, they're not going to pull in the normal voice actors we're used to from the video games. I mean, they could have easily got Roger Craig Smith as Sonic, but no, they got Ben Schwartz, who is amazing as Sonic. And here is Chris Pratt as Mario. They could have got Charles Martinet as Mario, which he does make a cameo appearance in this movie. So in a way, he is in this movie, Charles Martinet. So he's not totally cut out, but I sort of look at it as the video games have their own universes and the movies have their own universes. If you don't count Dragon Ball Super Broly, which totally disproves that theory, but we don't talk about that. This is about Mario. So in most cases, the movies and the games never connect. So Chris Pratt being Mario is like movie Mario for me, right? Like he's the voice I think of when I think of movie Mario. Bob Hoskins, I got nothing against the man. I like him. He's a good voice actor. Got nothing against the dude, but Chris Pratt outdoes him in every way possible. I'm sorry. It's like I believe him more as Mario than Bob Hoskins as Mario, right? Like I believe this to be more of Mario. And what's his name? Charlie Day is a friggin' Luigi. I kind of look at that as sort of an homage to. I don't know how many people are gonna know this, but I kind of look at it as a homage to the first two Mario Party games for the Nintendo 64, where Luigi had that very out of place, high pitched voice, like "Yaha!" or "Yahoo!" You know, that was a very botched attempt at that, but I don't care. This is YouTube. You're supposed to make a fool of yourself, but I sort of look at it as an homage to that because he has this like sort of higher pitched voice. Like you expect him to sound like how he does now, but yeah, I like it. He's a good guy. That's kind of like the whole gist for the entire cast. They're good. I like them for the movie's sake. I like them, and of course the big talking point, Jack Black is Bowser. It's kind of the same thing as Jim Carrey as Dr. Eggman, just perfect acting choice for the character. I think again Jack Black, like Jim Carrey, was the perfect casting for this character. We've seen Jack Black voice big bombastic characters a la Po from Kung Fu Panda. He's voiced these. He just has this big bombastic nature to his voice acting that can match these characters, and I think Bowser is of no exception. And just like Jim Carrey in the Sonic movies, he absolutely steals the show, and he is arguably one of the best parts of the movie. But that's debatable in my opinion. Friggin' Seth Rogen as shoot, I forget who he plays. I'm drawing a blank here. I'm sorry. It's like really early in the morning, and I really should be in the bed, but I have not slept yet. But, God, I think Seth Rogen was Donkey Kong. We're just gonna assume he was, but I like Donkey Kong's voice. I think I think it fits the whole character. I like it. In a way, I kind of like Donkey Kong's personality in here. He's not like this primal warrior or something like that. He's like this showboaty character. He's like, "Hey, I'm the man of the hour. Yeah, oh yeah." Like, I just like his personality. It kind of like contrasts with Mario, where Mario's like more reserved but isn't like afraid to like get his hands dirty. Donkey Kong's sort of like the alpha male Chad person. Like he acts all big and tough, and he has the muscle to prove it. He is big and tough. But he's also, in a way, kind of like, I feel like he'd be prone to like shy away from like real action and just like take the credit when when the hard part is done. Like, yeah, I did the hard part, even though he just did the easy part. But anyway, as for the other ones, I can't remember the names off the top of my head, but like all the voice acting was really great. I love what they did with Peach, by the way. Can we just talk about Peach for a second, okay? Peach, bless her soul, has just been this damsel in distress the entire time in Mario. There's been a select few times where she hasn't had that role. The biggest one that comes to mind is Super Princess Peach, which is obviously a game all about her, on her adventure. But like, and of course her roles in the Paper Mario series, But like, 9 times out of 10, she's always the damsel in distress, and it's just like, geez, you're a princess, lady. Like, come on. And this movie, my God, actually made Peach a freaking epic person. She exerts authority. She is not afraid to get in the midst of action. She ain't afraid to punch someone in the face if she has to. She is competent in what she does. I believe her as a, patriarch for the Mushroom Kingdom. Like, I believe that this is their ruler, and that's what I want. Princess Elise could learn a lot from Princess Peach in this movie. I know that's a time gap of way back when, but I don't like Sonic 06. uh, but the casting was great. I like the characters a lot, and it's just amazing. Like the movie looks amazing. Like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Like, this movie is pretty. It's pretty. Every environment they show is just so big and expansive, and it's just, you just can't help but to look at it, right? You just can't help but to look at it. It's like, whoa. And like, a movie of this magnitude, for a franchise like this, does what it should. It takes you on an adventure. You're in this world, just in this magical world. The Mushroom Kingdom, visiting the Kongs and all that stuff. And you've seen the Darklands and Bowser's Fortress, and it's just a spectacle and a half, people. Like, I couldn't believe how good this movie actually looked. Like, I was completely blown away when I first saw it. They're like, oh my gosh, this thing is pretty. I think the pretty aspect really hit home when they started doing the Mario Kart sequence, which, by the way, it really like, that made me smile when I saw other trailers and they included that scene of Mario doing the Mario Kart stuff. I was like, oh my god, they're gonna have Mario Kart in this movie too. What the heck? I need to watch this movie now. but but it's an absolutely spectacular looking movie. Like I said, it's one of the prettiest and best looking Illumination films I think I've ever seen. And I think I ever will see. Like, I don't know if Illumination will ever reach this peak of just environmental presenting and scale. It's just, oh, it's oh god, it's so pretty. I can't describe it. It's pretty. It's beautiful, magnificent, man. Like, it's just awesome, dude. Like, but okay, drawing blanks here. With all that being said, I kind of, I'm gonna take a step back. I kind of, as much as I like this movie, there are some nitpicks about it that I kind of do have. For one, is I feel like the movie is a bit too short for its own good. What I mean by that is that, you go from one plot point to another. The entire crux in the movie essentially is that at some point Mario and Luigi get split up, and it's Mario's duty to not only save the Mushroom Kingdom, but to also find his brother. And like, I appreciate what they're trying to do here, but at the same time, I feel like they're just, it would have been better if it was Mario and Luigi going on the adventure, because now, Peach isn't the damsel in distress now. Luigi is. Now they just switched roles. Now Luigi's the damsel in distress, and like, it's no secret that Luigi is always like the more held back, cowardly character in the franchise. But like, he didn't need to be the one that needed to be rescued. People, like, I'm not saying Peach should have been the one to be rescued. If I had to choose, I say portray it more like Paper Mario. Peach does get captured, but she's also just not this scared little girl just in the corner waiting for her knight in shining armor to appear. Like, she can do some awesome stuff as well while being captured. And but they switch it to Luigi, who doesn't do much. In fact, he spends most of the time in just his cage, and like, that's it. Like, the movie just primarily focuses on Mario, which I think kind of hinders it a bit. Because it's like, we watch this movie, we expect to see Mario and Luigi doing some things, which we do get, but it's only at the end of the movie. And I think, like, I look at the end and like, man, that would have been nice to have in the whole movie, but oh well. But it's a Mario movie. Like, let's talk about the Mario Brothers aspect. Like, I never thought we get to have the environments of Mario brought into a cinema experience, but we do. I mean, Peach's Castle looks amazing. The Mushroom Kingdom looks amazing. The use of like Mario enemies looks amazing. Like the Koopa Squad looks amazing. Dry Bones, my goodness, they made that character, they made that simple enemy actually terrifying. Like I remember the first time I saw Luigi encounter Dry Bones in the Darklands, I was actually legitimately shocked at how unsettling they made him. Dry Bones, like they made him an actual threat, like something like if I saw that version of Dry Bones in the Mario video game, I get the heck out. I'd be like, nope, 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 not dealing with you. I'm getting away from you. Like they made Dry Bones legitimately threatening in the movie, and I really like that. Uh, but yeah, I mean Bowser's Fortress looks amazing. The ice lands in the beginning of the movie looks amazing. Everything looks amazing. I'm just gonna be the thing. Everything looks amazing. But well, what can I say? It's amazing. Like I like the Kong. I like the Kong Land or whatever. The Kong capital. Like I like how that looks. It looks like this nice tropical resort, a place you would see or picture Donkey Kong living. You know, it's not just Donkey Kong Island. It's just this. You would picture Donkey Kong living there. It's just amazing, and it looks so beautiful. Uh, the Rainbow Road sequence again. You know, Rainbow Road is always that track in Mario Kart that's just like this big, otherworldly spectacle, and I think they achieved that in the movie as well. It looks beautiful. I love it. Um, and yeah, so it looks good, but again, all this stuff you don't really get a chance to appreciate it for much because again, the movie is a lot shorter than you think. Let me see. Does this have any sort of runtime on it? Does it really not have it run? Oh wait, duh. So it's over here. I was looking at the wrong hour and 30. This is an hour and 33-minute long movie, by the way. No wonder it's so short. This is an hour and 33 minutes. But it still goes by lickety split. Like when you actually get into it, it like you just go from scene to scene to scene to scene to scene. And again, you know, it's kind of to the movie's detriment in a way because it's like you don't get time to appreciate a lot of things, you know. So it's like it feels like everything's a kind of bit rushed, you know. Um, so that's like my, I guess that's like my biggest nitpick with this movie. This next one is kind of a nitpick, but not nitpick. But I to compare it to Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the movie anyway, which I know isn't a fair comparison, but I sort of classify this as what I call a fan service movie. That is to say that, uh, for example, the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie, you know, it was a good movie on its own, but like it had a lot of new concepts that weren't known for Sonic fans. Like they had little callbacks here and there for like Sonic media, but like then Sonic the Hedgehog 2 rolls around and it's just like, oh hey, that was from this Sonic game. Hey, that's from that Sonic media. You know, like, hey, I remember that. You know, stuff like that, you know, and people who understand the franchise gets the references and callbacks, but people who don't kind of it flies over the head. The Mario Bros. Movie does the same thing. Like there is tons upon tons upon tons of references to other Nintendo media, other Mario media, just plastered throughout the movie, including one of the best parts of the movie and the point where I decided that this is going to be amazing. When they introduced Mario and Luigi, they introduced them via their plumbing service, right? And of all things to reference, of all things to call back in this movie, they use, and I kid you not, the opening rap to the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. I I'm gonna be totally honest. When I heard that start up, I wanted to get out of my seat and just go like, this is gonna be a good movie. These people know what they're doing. Like, I could not believe I was hearing the Mario rap of all things in an official Mario Brothers movie. I can't believe I'm lost for words. I'm stumbling here. Like, I could not believe they went that far, right? Like, they went that far. They went there. Like, you're gonna reference a TV show that hardly anyone remembers. You're gonna reference that of all things in this movie. Like, I'm sold. I'm sold. Uh, but yeah, but that's just an example. Like, there's tons of references, and again, it's like a fan service film where those can work to certain degrees, right? Like, it's okay to have a few references and callbacks to things here and there, and like, for people like, oh hey, I remember that. Like Easter eggs, they're good for Easter eggs and whatnot. But like for people who don't exactly know the media, won't know everything they're trying to reference, and that's kind of good and bad because it's like you're trying to reference this, but people don't really know it, and so it flies over their head. Well, shoot. Well, that's a reference wasted. And that's just how it goes, really. But like I said, it's like a nitpick, sort of. Not really. It's more so just me being petty in a way. The real way of me being petty is saying again why it took so long for them to make this, have it be good, and the other one is just like, whoa, like we could have, like, why did this exist? But this movie, I would say is an example, much like the Sonic the Hedgehog one, is an example of how you simply take a moment, understand the source material you're using for this, in this case Mario Brothers, understand what people liked about it and why it's so good, and just translate that to a movie. You don't have to invent some new, like, you can invent a whole new plot for, there's nothing wrong with a little creativity. That's what movies are for. They're inspiring creativity. That's what video games are for, inspiring creativity. That's why different uh video games made for a series are so different from one another. You're not gonna look at the first Mario, like, Mario 64 is not gonna have the same plot, so to say, as the original Mario Brothers, right? Um, Metroid Prime is not gonna have the same uh gameplay mechanics or whatever as Metroid 2. It's just not gonna be the same, and but either way it goes, people, the source material is there. It's kind of like doing a writing assignment, and everything that you need to get the perfect grade is there for you to use. But, it's like, why wouldn't you use it? It's there for you. And this Mario movie here and the Sonic movies are like prime examples of why and how you do it right. You take a moment to observe what people liked about this and make it your own. Translate it to a cinema experience, and you get something good. You get something people like, something people will want to watch, something that encourages a sequel to be made. And you can bet your sweet bippy there's going to be a Super Mario Bros. 2 movie coming out soon. Much like there was a Sonic the Hedgehog 2 after the first one was such a success, there's going to be a sequel to this one. And you can bet your butt I'm going to be there to watch it, because this one was awesome. I loved this movie, man. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I will say it till the cows come home. I love this movie. This is how you do it, people. This is video games being translated to movies done right. And this is making me really hopeful, man. Now video game movies aren't that sort of meme material, right? They're sources of hope. Because now we have Sonic, we have Mario, the two biggest, well known video game monarchs out there, man. Like, you talk about video games, people usually go Sonic, Mario. Those are like usually the two they jump to immediately. And now here they are on the big screen with movies that fit them so darn well and are so good because of it. Now we have hope. Now we can hope for a good adaptation of this franchise, a good adaptation of this franchise. Now we can hope because these are good, man. And it's just perfect. It's not the perfect Mario movie by any standard. Like, I don't think there is a standard for a Mario movie, but like, as far as what we got with this so far, this is the Mario Brothers movie experience you want to show your kids, man. Don't show them that crap from the 90s or whatever. Don't show them that live action one. Okay, maybe you can, but like, if you want them to understand what a good Mario movie looks like, you play them this little gem, man. You take them to the theaters to watch it. You buy it on DVD like I did. Whatever, what have you, however you want to watch it. You show them this movie. This is a movie you need to watch. And I can't say enough about it. It's absolutely amazing. I love it to death. I love it to death. Everything about it makes me smile. Like I said, there are some nitpicks I have, like the movie being a little too short for my liking and for it being a fan servicey film. With those two nitpicks aside, though, this movie is absolutely splendid. Spot on. It hits every note right for me for what a Mario Brothers movie should be, and I am so happy it's good. I'm so happy we have this in our it's part of history now. I'm so glad to have this a part of our history. And I just can't wait for the inevitable sequel that's going to be released. Because you can't tell me there's not going to be a sequel. If there's no sequel to this, I think there's going to be a bigger uproar and upcry than when they first released the first design for Sonic in the Sonic movie. Like, this was a really good movie. I can't say more than this. This is a really good movie, and I enjoyed every second of it. All 1 hour and 33 minutes of it it's amazing. There's a lot of things I don't cover in this video, and reason is I either forgot or I'm too lazy. But this, there's not really much I can say. Go watch this movie. It's so good. Now, is it better than the Sonic movies? I think that's probably the next question. And honestly, I can't give a clear answer. I want to say no, but that would just be personal bias, and it's kind of unfair to compare it to those. Now, if I could say, is it better than Sonic 2? If I ask, is it better than Sonic 2? I would probably say no. Simply because it's Mario, okay? We expect it to be good. But Sonic, they tried the live action format and they did it right. And I'm not saying video game adaptations have to be purely animated. They can be live action too, people. Again, Sonic proves that. It can be live action and be good. You just gotta do it right and stick to the source. You can't deviate too far from the source. I can't emphasize that enough, man. And like, this one kind of has an unfair advantage of being fully animated, so they can like make the environments what they want, make the characters what they want, make them do what they want, and so it kind of puts it the Mario movie. It kind of puts it as at an unfair advantage in that aspect. So I jumped to the Sonic movie. I will watch Sonic 2 over this. But that's not to say that this movie is absolutely amazing. Like, this movie is awesome. And there's not really much I can say about it. But that is awesome. You know, the characters are great, casting was great, the environments were great, the story, while I think could have been handled a little better, was great. And for what it's worth, it is worth absolutely everything. So, yeah, that's all I got with this review. Again, go watch this movie. You need to watch it. And if you stay for this long, then I'm going to assume you watched the movie already, or just don't care about spoilers. And yeah, but this was an amazing experience, and I am very happy I got to watch it. So here's to the next video I make one day. I don't know, but until then, that's been my talk about this movie, and yeah, that's all I got. So with that, thank you for watching, and I guess see you next time. Goodbye.